On the news tonight, FCTA trains teachers on entrepreneurship education. And tax reform and building industry proffer new directions for the sector. Good evening and thanks for joining the news at 7 on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. I am Aisha Uba Ali. Now, the Federal Capital Territory has commenced the training on innovation and entrepreneurship education for FCT teachers. Onoze Yakubu is standing by with details of the education training.
Participants at this capacity training workshop on innovation and entrepreneurship education are drawn from the senior and junior secondary schools as well as private schools in the FCT. They are expected to be the drivers of this initiative, which is geared towards inculcating vocational skills among the students for self-reliance.
It is very, very important for teachers to be trained, and I appreciate our foreign partners for this wonderful entrepreneurial program, which they have come to impart on our teachers, that's the target audience, so they can learn something new innovation, new technology, and they can come back and impart it on our children. And our children will be focused.
No, because they know. We are tired of students graduating without a stream. So we have made it and we will continue with it for the sustainability that is not worry. Because we have taught all the school administrators and we are going to sustain it. Even if we retire, it will still go on.
The program is in partnership with the Brunel University, with the FCTA taking the lead in repositioning the education sector for better results.
The mindset of our young ones needs to change. They need to begin to understand that they can become employers of labor, even at a very young age.
We are facing a new era where the President of Nigeria has the Renewed Hope agenda. And the first point in the Renewed Hope agenda is to make sure that everybody acquires a skill.
Participants are sure that they are now better informed to infuse entrepreneurship thinking in the minds of the students to enable them face the current reality of life.
For me as a teacher, it's also very important. As you all know, capacity building is one of the things that is needed from time to time. Education is not static. The word itself is not static. The word is dynamic. So from time to time, you need to learn new concepts so that as teachers, you'll be able to deliver your lessons better.
It will help teachers develop structural curricular content to enable our learners learn various ways of bringing their ideas into life, helping them fashion out the better ways to get things done. I think that's what they appreciate.
The capacity training workshop is expected to last 2 days. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
In another development, real estate experts and financial analysts have expressed optimism about the new Nigeria tax reforms, saying it would impact their sector positively. Aisha Bashir reports that this was made known at a building and construction industry forum in Abuja, where key players will proffer new direction for the sector.
A major economic discourse in Nigeria today is the current economic reforms which the President Bola Tinubu's administration is implementing and the impact of the reforms on the people and the various sectors of the economy. When experts therefore gathered for this edition of the annual Real Estate Forum hosted by builders, how these reforms impact the housing and real estate sector was the focal point of discussion. The summit had its theme Nigeria's tax reforms and the building and construction industry, implications and opportunities.
Our industry is really suffering from multiple taxes. The withholding tax issue, where certificates are not honored it when you are charging company tax. So there are some taxes that when you are now giving a company their tax computation, the certificate you have is supposed to knock off or reduce your tax. But right now you still pay the whole tax, yet you are not paid the certificate. So there's so much of our money hanging with the government.
Chairman, Presidential Tax Reform Committee and Fiscal Policy, Taiwo Oyedele stressed that the forum provides a valuable platform to deepen collaboration, share expertise, and generate innovative solutions as we discuss the impact of economic reforms on the real estate sector.
The conversation is really to examine the tax reform bills and provisions there that government has to facilitate development in that sector and by extension to create prosperity for all Nigerians, because this is one sector where it is labor intensive and you find everybody from unskilled labor to highly skilled. There's a space for them in the building and construction sector, and that's the focus of the discussion.
The real estate world is changing rapidly in terms of our built environment conditions, more so because of what's happening around the globe and the new economic reforms taking place in Nigeria.
I know of a state where before you can do a real estate development, you have to go to about 12 agencies, and then you have to pay in each of those agencies. With that condition, affordable housing cannot take place. So we have called on the government today through Mr. Taiwo Oyedele to please use his office to ensure that incentive for building low-cost housing is inserted in that new tax reforms.
At the panel session, experts brainstormed on the challenges and, more importantly, the opportunities offered by the reforms being embarked upon by the President Tinubu's administration, particularly in the real estate sector. A take-home for many in that developers facing hefty upfront taxes will now find some relief, allowing more resources to flow into actual property development. Aisha Bashir, NT News.
Meanwhile, starting from November this year, the West African Examinations Council and the National Examinations Council, NECO, will adopt computer-based testing, CBT, for the conduct of their examinations. This announcement was made by the Minister of Education, Dr. Olatunji Alausa, while monitoring the ongoing 2025 UTME exercise at some computer-based test CBT centers in Abuja. Olainka Ojo reports. Okay. Now let's shift our attention to environment. The effects of climate change have been in the increase that necessitated government and other partners to continue exploring ways of mitigating the challenges through the efforts of ministries and agencies that are responsible for the task. It is against this backdrop that the Department of Climate Change in the Federal Ministry of Environment engaged concerned groups and individuals on a 2-day workshop for North Central Zone of the country. Christy Ayawa reports.
The menace of climate change has become a global challenge, which has prompted stakeholders from various sectors to work tirelessly in search of measures to address it. It is on this premise that the Department of Climate Change in the Ministry of Environment engaged concerned groups and individuals on a 2-day workshop for North Central Zone with the aim of exploring strategies and techniques in mitigating the adverse effects of climate change on the region. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Environment, Adam Mahmoud Kambari, represented, says government is proactive in addressing the present climatic crisis and minimize the future impacts of global warming.
For them as local farmers, what they can do in the farm towards helping them to have a high yield in their harvest and in their farming system, just like smart agriculture, doing rain harvesting when there is enough rain so that they can harvest the rain for a time when there is no rain so that they can use the rain that they have harvested to do their